There we go. Live it is. That's it. We're live. Sunday fun day. Gino. Steelers lost. It's 2 in a row. I don't know what is going on with them this year, but so hey, we're gonna do some cooking. Little pasta dish. I had some. Open up the cabinet. And I found some bucatini. So all right, check this out. Bucatini. It's basically spaghetti with a hole right down the center. So sauce will go through, and then I know texture is different. It's kind of al dente. When you cook it, it'll kind of move almost. It's really interesting. So it's a great pasta. And this is a dish. When I saw the bucatini, I said, all right, let's do a bucatini alla matriciana, which is basically a spicy pork dish pasta that they do in Rome. So they use guanciale, which is the cheeks of the pig. I think you guys may have seen me make guanciale. It's cured over time, hung, dried. But now, I don't have guanciale, but I do have, check that out, smoked pork jowl. So it's like bacon. So it's the same cut, it's a cheek, but I mean, it's like bacon on steroids, but it basically is cured differently, but we're gonna switch it up. We're also gonna switch up the crushed red pepper that they typically put in the dish with some Calabrian chilies. So I am taking the traditional and turning it just a little bit, but I think it's gonna be fine. So today's a good day. Somebody's gonna get my my mother's sauce of my tomato sauce here. So this is my go-to red sauce, and I'm gonna give you, it's simple. Literally, there's a couple ingredients in it. So San Marzano, 28-ounce can of tomatoes, whole peeled. And then the secret is Di Fratelli. So this one is just a sauce. So what we do to get this sauce here, I take 1 onion, a medium onion, chop him up, about 5 cloves of garlic in olive oil in the pot. And I cook the onions and the garlic together. Pull the onions and garlic out, add the 2 sauces, crush up the tomatoes by hand, little salt, pepper, a pinch of oregano, dry basil, and some fresh basil. And then depending on the acid of the can or the tomatoes in the can, I'll adjust it with sugar. No more than a teaspoon, but a little bit of sugar will adjust that acid level. So you pull the onions and the garlic out. Usually you toss them, but today this recipe calls for onions and garlic. So you would typically cook the pork or the bacon, which somebody would use bacon, in onions, water type deal, and that's how it bakes. So I'm going to take what we reserved and we're going to burn it into our pasta dish. So this will be a quick one. I'm going to throw this bucatini in. I got water salted in the back because it's literally going to go in about 10 minutes. And we'll have a pretty good pasta dish. It's supposed to break open, but we toss this in and we'll get going. Let it go. So, pork, onions, and garlic, right? I've already cut up the pork jowl, so we're going to go in. No oil, because this has got a lot of fat in it already. So, I'm going to take this and crisp it a little bit, but I want to cook it with the reserve of the onions and garlic, okay? So, this is going to become part of the whole sauce. Good way to burn up your onions and garlic, and probably just a little more, right about there. All right, let's see if this little burner stays hot enough to get through this. Timer, 8 minutes. Hold on. 8:00. There we go. 8 minutes on the pasta, and we'll cook the rest inside this pan. So maybe if this thing stays hot. So we're going to cook this down, literally add the tomato sauce into here, drop the pasta. No salt into this dish. The pork jowl is salty. Pecorino Romano carries salt in it as well. Hey, Michelle. So we're going to make a little seasoned water with this cheese, and that's going to become our salt for the dish. That's going to be our element. So what we'll do is take a couple tablespoons of this, and I'll put a little bit of water in here, and that's going to make a little paste. So this is going to create that same cook as the original, where they just put the waters in the onion, but we're going to season it with the cheese. So literally, it's kind of looks like dried milk powder, but we're going to season this up, and this will be our dish. Come on, baby, cook. Let that go a little crispy, and then we'll add this water to it. So I'm going to pull out a couple of those pork jowls before I add this. That way I can have a little crunch and a little texture at the end to finish with. So, come on. Oh, we have a big tasting dinner coming up October 11th. 7-course tasting menu. Really kind of an awesome location way out in the country. We will disclose that later, but anyway, it's going to be pretty high end. I mean, our menu is pretty challenging on that one. I think I like it, and we also may have a couple special guests come down from Chicago, which would be really cool if they could make it. One from Cleveland, but waiting to hear on that. So our dinner, I think there's, I don't know, we have 14 seats, and I want to say there's 8 gone already in a couple days, so it's going to fill quick. And I would recommend, if you are anywhere within 100 miles on the 11th of Clay County, you need to come to this dinner. It's going to be fantastic. So, all right, let's see what we got here. The little guy is not the hottest. I had this problem with this little burner when I was out in New York. Just wouldn't stay hot enough. So it lasted a couple times, 1 or 2 shots, and it worked, and now it's just getting worse and worse. But we're almost there. We'll pull a couple of these out. What do we have? 4 minutes. 4 minutes on the pasta, literally 8 minutes. Package says, what, 10, 11 minutes? I don't know what it tells you on the package, but I go 8 minutes and always finish my pasta in the pan for another 2 or 3 minutes. I never go full, so that'll keep you al dente inside there. All right, we're gonna pull a couple of these out of here, like this one, and get another crispy one out of here. This one, and probably this one. Okay, now Pecorino Romano and water, literally. We're just going to kind of deglaze it a little bit. And that's going to create a sauce. And that's probably enough right there. Alright. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cook this down a little bit. So this is going to thicken up. And then we'll add our sauce in, our tomato sauce. Yep, you can see, look how it tightens right up. So almost a, I don't know if you ever had a Bucatini cacio e pepe, which is basically cheese, pasta water, and Bucatini, and literally it's black pepper. So at this time we're going to hit it with black pepper right now. So no salt, only black pepper, because we are pretty salty throughout. So a little bit of that, and then what I want to put in is the Calabria chilies. So I'm going to leave them whole. They'll burst open. We can pull them out. But these things are awesome. They're hard to find, but little Calabrian chili. One. I'm going to go 3. And then we use 1 to garnish at the end. Alright. So cook that down a little bit and add our sauce. And we'll be good to go. Chilies will bust and they'll release their juices in here. That's going to be plenty enough heat. So the traditional recipe in Rome, they just use dried chili peppers, you know, like crushed red pepper flakes. But I had these chilies, I had this pork jowl, so I said, well, let's turn it on its head. Let's check out our pasta real fast here. About 2 minutes. Close. Red sauce in. Okay. Oh shit. Sorry. So about half of that goes in there. Hang on 1 second. Whoa. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, just get this heated through and we're going to add the bucatini right to it. Plate it, and it's going to be done. So we'll finish it with a little cheese, a little parsley, top it off with another pepper, and we'll be good to go. Some cheese right there. Alright, let's get some pasta. I think we're ready. We'll turn this off, timer off. Straight out of the water, always. I don't drain it. I don't strain my pasta. All of the flavors in that water, so if you rinse it, it's all gone, literally. So, and the pasta water will actually help you. So in. Don't worry about a little bit of water. It's not going to hurt. It'll help season and thin out your sauce. That's probably about got it right there. Drag it in there. Okay. Voila. Now, we'll just cook this for about another minute. It's done. Plate it up. This is looking pretty good. Okay. So it's a little different take on a pasta dish. So spaghetti, you know, red sauce, but way different flavors. So this thing is ready. Let's get this thing plated. Nice plate. Let's go. I want to pull out a chili here really fast because we're going to need him for the garnish. And if you want to eat him, it's perfect. Put him right there. And alright, you can either roll it up on your fork, you can turn around and roll it. Let me show you this way. You can roll it into a ladle. So either way, you can kind of come like this and take it right into a ladle, and this will give you kind of a height on all those dishes that you see. Drag it up right in the center of the plate. Close the ladle and just let it fall. It's going to fall natural, and it will start to unturn. Literally. So let's garnish this thing up. Turn this off. So we want some sauce, we want some onion, we want some guanciale or some pork in there. Right on top. A little bit more. Just let her fall. Don't overdress it, don't oversauce it. You don't want it swimming in sauce. Oh, there goes a piece of bacon. And right there she sits. Now, more cheese. Just like that. And one sprig of parsley on the top. Let's go with this chili right on there, and then I'm going to place these little pieces of pork jowl around. So there you have it. A nice dish. 10 minutes. Done. Well, you got to make the sauce first, but you can make this sauce, you can freeze it, put it in your fridge, and they'll be golden from there. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there it is. Bucatini alla Amatricana. Done. Peace. See you guys. Time to eat. Stop this thing. Oh. Finish.